So I'm cutting my lawn, right? And I'm sitting there listening to some motivating stuff while I'm cutting my lawn. And I get a phone call. And I hate getting phone calls when I'm in the midst of in a zone. You know what I mean? Sometimes I ignore the phone call. But then I looked at this number, and this number, it looks somewhat familiar. But at the same time, I wasn't sure what it was. I answer it, and it's a robocall. It's a robocall from the plant manager of Stellantis, saying that Stellantis had they're going to invest $13 billion into the auto industry. And the first reaction is great news, because we've been waiting to hear what's going on with Brampton Assembly. But then that was all the good news. After that, they said, well, the vehicle that was supposed to come into Brampton Assembly is moving to the US. And that's when crap hits the fan and the media gets a hold of it and the workers get a hold of it, and it's just been a frenzy. So obviously, if you've been following my channel, I did bring out a previous video a few months ago saying I've been laid off for 18 months, and I shared my story a little bit. I never said where I did work. Well, cat's out the bag. Normally I wouldn't do this, but yes, I am an employee of Stellantis Brampton. And needless to say, this was not great news. I'm just gonna say it like this. Stellantis has been the puppet master of the workers in Brampton for years, and they're still continuing to do it. Everything they do has affected us ever since we've been laid off in December 2023. And needless to say, for some people, it's worked out well for them. And for some people, not so much. There's some people who embrace the layoff. And the layoff, mind you, is going on almost 2 years now. Some have embraced the layoff. I guess they had some money saved up. They've been doing vacations, working on projects, all that stuff. So, they've enjoyed their time off. For some, they enjoyed the routine. They enjoyed the monotony. They enjoyed seeing different people to work every day. And they were affected immediately. They enjoyed it for about a month or two, but afterwards they're like, oh, I miss all my colleagues. I miss the routine. I want to go back to work. And surprisingly, a lot of it that I heard this from was women. Women love routine more than we can ever think. But that's another story for another day. And then you got my situation where, hey, well, no. Let's get back to it. There's another category as well where financially this hit them hard. They went in a financial spiral, because once the money diminished, things just hit them hard, and bills couldn't get paid, and debt continued to accumulate. And that's a lot of what's been going on with Stellantis workers right now. Where do I fit in that category? Well, I can honestly tell you that I have enjoyed not being in the plant. I have, honestly. It's allowed me to do a lot of things, a lot of projects. The free time, it's been really good, because I realize the dangers of monotony. Routine is good, especially if you're disciplined. But at the same time, long-term routine of doing the same thing every single day can drastically affect you. All right, so like I said, I have not missed working there. However, not working there, it did take a toll on me. Financial toll. And it took me to a point where I'm not ready to share it yet, but it took me to a point where I was very humbled, and it hit really hard. And like I said, I'm not going to share it on this video, but you'll see something soon where I will share it in detail. And I learned a lot, especially this year. So anyway, Stellantis has been a puppet master, and now they're continuing to be a puppet master. What is at stake right now? First and foremost, I like to say this, is that yes, the municipal government, the provincial government, and the federal government all missed the ball on this one. They all missed the ball, and they all messed up. A corporation, a plant that leaves a city is devastating for a city, because it's not just for those who work there, but the businesses who make money from those who work there. Real estate is affected. Parts plants that supply for Stellantis, Brampton is affected by this stuff. Provincial, Ontario needs this plant. We need the auto industry. Auto industry has been a part of Ontario for so long and has created thousands and thousands of jobs. And federal, well, this is something that it's an emergency, because this could be the start of a downward spiral for the auto industry in Canada. Ontario is the only province remaining that has auto plants. So you take them out. If Stellantis leaves, question is someone else going to go? Is Ford going to try to leave? Is GM going to try to leave? Who knows? All right. But I want to say this too. Those 5,000 jobs that are going to open up in Ohio, Michigan, Illinois, and Indiana. I want to say congrats to all those in those states that are going to get more jobs. And I sincerely mean that. I am not the F the US type person. I'm not an F Canada or F the US type person. So I'm happy for you guys that jobs are going to open up, because it has been tough in North America. So happy for you. Obviously, your president is trying to do whatever it takes to make sure that jobs come back. More jobs are created in America. But I'm not even going to fully go there. And but I want to say this, is that Canada missed out. We messed up. And it's not just we messed up now. This could have been prevented, because now all of a sudden this whole elbows up campaign that got Carney elected, because he focused on the man down south, and it triggered a lot of people, and, it led the Liberals to win once again. But we still got the same crap that's going on. And matter of fact, that, and the whole elbows up, how's it looking now? Doesn't look great. Doesn't look great. And I could honestly say I didn't vote for this party. But I'm going to say this, though. I'm going to say this about the Conservatives. Because we have people like Pierre Poilievre and a lot of conservative channels that are really going at the Liberals for messing this up. They're really coming at them, saying they did not, elbows down. They didn't do what they had to do to keep auto jobs in America. And right now they're pushing this narrative that Stellantis really is on their way out. Right now they are. Absolutely they are. But conservatives and conservatives right now are pushing this channel that they're going to be gone, and and the auto industry is on the beginning of a downfall. They're not wrong, but at the same time, they're trying to really post a negative window because they want the Liberals to really look bad for doing this. And I'm going to say this, all right? I'm a conservative person. I'm not a fan of the Liberals. However, if Pierre Poilievre was prime minister right now, in my opinion, the same situation would be happening right now. If Pierre Poilievre was the prime minister, if he was prime minister right now, Stellantis would be doing the same thing. I really believe that Pierre could not stop what is happening right now. So as much as the conservatives want to, say that Liberals messed up right now, even they don't even have a solution to this. They don't. And so what's next? What's next for myself, along with 3,000 of the workers? I'm mentally prepared for something like this. Some of the workers have, but at the same time, they were very optimistic that they were going to go back to work, that we were going to have some news, that we were going to have product. I was cautiously optimistic. I've been at the point where I'm mentally, I wish financially, but mentally, I was prepared for any kind of news. So what's the best case scenario? Best case scenario is Unifor, the union, Unifor, stages a big thing to present to Stellantis, give them an ultimatum. The federal government, obviously they said they're going to try to do some legal action. And provincial government, obviously, they got to do what they have to do. They have to hold Stellantis accountable to the promise that product is going to come here. So if Stellantis caves in and say, you know what, we did not live up to our promises, we are going to put something in the Brampton plant. If they do that, it means we're going to have another year of layoff. So what was projected to be 2 years is going to extend to at least 3 years. And I honestly think that's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is they just bounce and they give out whatever packages they want to give out. I'd like to see a mixture of both. I would like to see them offer a good buyout for those who just want to move on with their lives and get into another career or, retire. And at the same time, give them the option, if they want to start afresh when the plant does reopen, they can do so starting from day one instead of wherever they're at. I'm 25 years in. I started at the Windsor plant, who, by the way, Windsor is opening a third shift, and they're giving Brampton employees the option to transfer over there, but it's not that easy. Windsor's 3 hours away from Brampton, and moving there involves a tremendous transition, especially if you have family. I started in Windsor. I moved to Brampton, but when I didn't have any kids, but now I have 4 kids. And the transition won't be as easy. But anyway, so how do I feel about this? I don't want this plant to close. Obviously, I don't. And at the same time, I'm kind of tired of this. Tired of this back and forth, not knowing what's going on. It would be nice for them to just say what they're going to do and say what they're going to offer. And we just come to the table and we just decide what we're going to do at that point. But life doesn't happen that way. And Stellantis loves drama. And this is going to... I don't think it's going to be answers anytime soon. But anyway, I just wanted to share how I felt about it. I know many of you, I've been having this channel for 2 years, and many of you had no idea what I do on the side, but now you know. Now you know. I am a Stellantis Brampton employee. And met some great people there. I don't miss working there. Met some great people there. And, I don't know what the future lies in store. But I know I just trust God in everything that I do. I trust God for my finances. I trust God for making the right decisions that's best for me and my family. And that's how I'm going to go at it. This is obviously a more lengthy video than I usually do. I hope you've watched this whole thing. But I want to know your thoughts. If you're watching and you are an employee of Stellantis, whether it's in Windsor, whether it's in Brampton, or wherever it is, or even in the States, drop it in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this whole situation. And do you feel like there's going to be any solution anytime soon? And in the meantime, like, share, and subscribe to Born with Purpose. And until then, God bless. Love you guys. I'm out. Peace.